Choosing the right ferry pilot, your ultimate guide. Moving airplanes is a logistical ballet, especially when you're not the one in the cockpit. That's when you need a ferry pilot, a highly skilled professional who can safely transport your aircraft from point A to point B. But how do you find the right one for the job? Truth is, it's a lot like any other important decision. You wouldn't hire a plumber without checking their references, would you? Same goes for someone entrusted with your wings. Lucky for you, that's what we're here for. In this video, we're gonna break down everything you need to know about choosing the right ferry pilot. Let's get started. Qualifications and experience. Checking the resume of the skies. First things first, you gotta make sure your pilot knows their way around a cockpit. We're talking flight hours here, folks. You want somebody with experience on your type of aircraft. A Cessna 310 ain't a Boeing 747, and a good ferry pilot will have the certifications to prove what they can fly. Look for a valid commercial pilot license and IFR certification. These indicate a higher level of proficiency and the ability to fly in all kinds of weather. Ask about their history with ferry flights. Any self-respecting pilot will be happy to tell you a few stories. You're looking for a problem solver, someone who can keep wind beneath their wings if turbulence hits. Logistical considerations. Mapping out the journey. Now, let's talk logistics. You want a pilot who's conveniently located near your aircraft's starting point. Speaking of which, make sure they're on top of the paperwork. Is your aircraft airworthy? Does it need a special flight permit? These are things your ferry pilot should be all over. A good ferry pilot will keep you in the loop every step of the way. Training opportunities. Turning your ferry flight into a learning experience. Did you know you can actually use your ferry flight as a training opportunity? If you're a pilot yourself, consider hiring a certified flight instructor, a CFI, to log some hours while your plane is en route. You're getting your aircraft moved and you're gaining valuable experience in the process. Plus, it's a great way to meet your insurance requirements and get to know your aircraft better. And if you decide to go this route, make sure all the necessary paperwork is in order and that your insurance covers training flights. Let's be honest, folks, nobody likes talking about money, but when it comes to hiring a ferry pilot, it's important to be upfront about the financial aspects. Start by discussing the pilot's fee structure. Do they charge a flat rate or an hourly rate? Are there any additional expenses like fuel, overnight accommodations, or handling fees? Get everything in writing so there are no misunderstandings later on. Remember, the cheapest option isn't always the best option. You're paying for experience, skill, and peace of mind. Now let's talk about insurance. You want to make sure your aircraft is covered in case anything happens during the ferry flight. Start by checking with your own insurance provider. What are the hours requirements generally and in type for open pilot or named pilots on the policy? Do they need to be added to your policy? Get everything squared away before the pilot takes off. Next, ask the pilot about their own insurance coverage. You want to make sure you're both protected in case of an accident. All right. We've covered a lot of ground here, but there are a few more things to keep in mind when choosing a ferry pilot. These are the intangibles, the things that don't always show up on paper. First and foremost, trust your gut. Do you feel comfortable with this pilot? Are they knowledgeable and experienced? If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Next, ask for references. Talk to other aircraft owners who have used this pilot's services. What was their experience like? Would they hire them again? Finally, consider the pilot's availability. Do they have a flexible schedule? Can they accommodate your timeline? So, there you have it, folks. Choosing the right ferry pilot doesn't have to be a daunting task. Just remember to do your homework, ask the right questions, and trust your instincts. By taking the time to find a qualified and experienced professional, you can relax knowing your aircraft is in good hands. Now go out there and get your plane where it needs to go. And remember, fly safe.